Welcome back, everybody, to National Signing Day, our 2017 National Signing Day show as we come to you from the beautiful campus of the University of Miami in Coral Gables on just a spectacular day here in South Florida. You could not have ordered a better day outside for National Signing Day. Joe Zagacki alongside Don Bailey Jr. You know, the University of Miami front seven and their defensive line last year, they were tenacious. Over 100 tackles for losses and helping to contribute to that, getting those guys upfield. Hurricanes defensive line coach Craig Kuligowski and Coach Cool is with us right now. And we can talk about one player so far that is signed up. But Coach Cool, thanks very much for being with us here on signing day. It's like Christmas Day, isn't it?
It's a great day. It's a great day. There's lots of good things that's going to come from this class. You know, when we target guys defensive line wise, you know, this year especially, because we were able to, you know, get with these guys a full year and really go after them and stuff. The big thing that we are looking for are guys with speed. Obviously, they got to have size. You know, they got to be big enough to play. You know, all the guys that we have right now have got great length in terms of like height, arm, reach. You know, being able to track guys down. That's a big thing, obviously, for defensive linemen. And you know, you see guys like Joe Jackson, who, you know, I would have targeted him, you know, as long as I could have. Obviously, he's a very good player for us, and really had 8.5 sacks as a true freshman. But he's got that great speed off the edge, and you know, so when we were looking at kids for this year's class, we were everybody that can really run and you know, make stuff happen in the backfield.
Coach, at this stage of the game, do you look for defensive linemen or do you look for defensive ends and defensive tackles? It seems that everything's gotten so specialized.
It is.
You know, you kind of look for a guy that can play or not play.
Well, yeah, you look for guys that are D tackle. Sometimes defensive ends grow into defensive tackles.
Right.
And you may be able to project that when you're recruiting them, but for the most part, you look for defensive ends, and then different defensive tackles are different. And you could even specialize it even more and say defensive tackle, you could say defensive tackle and nose guard, you know, even to specialize it even more. And I think we try to look for the best guys fit-wise, you know, and that match up athletically what we're looking for and what I've had success with, you know, and then we just kind of put them in. So, you know, I think that we got the guys we want.
Coach, has it always been so difficult to find those players? I mean, you've been in 20-some years. I mean,
right.
it's
in my opinion, for example, defensive tackle is the hardest position to recruit in the country.
Period.
There just there aren't that many big people that can move that well. And you know, when you find one, everybody in the country is after the guy.
Right.
And so I think that those kids are, you know, they probably always have like the top offer list and that kind of stuff, you know. And then really big defensive ends is kind of the same kind of deal, you know. Like corners, you know, you want a 6-foot corner if you can get them, 6'1" corner if you can get them, and all that stuff. But there's a lot more kids that can run real fast that are between that 5'10" to 6'1", you know, range than there are guys that are 6'4", 300 pounds that can really move, you know, and look good at 300 pounds.
How important when you were out on the road this year, recruiting coach, was it that you were able to show some of the guys coming in? All right, Joe Jackson played a lot. He was a freshman. Right. We were able to make a really good move by taking McIntosh from defensive end, defensive tackle. He had really good success there. Yeah. How important were some of those things to your recruiting effort?
It's huge because the first thing is when we're recruiting guys, you're selling them on what you can do in terms of on the football field and how they fit in, right? And so last year or many years, you're selling them on the ideal of what you'll be able to do or what you have done in the past. But now we can say, look, this is what we're doing here at Miami, right? We're the things that we promised you that we would do, we're going to do. And then the second thing is by playing a guy like Joe Jackson, playing all three linebackers, playing, you know, Malik Young at corner, playing Amon Richards, and all those guys the kids know that we're not afraid to play freshmen if they're the best player. If they develop into to be the best player, then those kids are going to be the starters.
Coach, also when you're scouring the country, you were in a different conference for many years. Now
right.
You're in the ACC, we're in the U. How are you received, whether it's in California or from Coral Gables to California?
everybody loves the U. Everybody wants the U to come to school. All the kids are all, for the most part, they want to hear from us. They may not all sign with us, but they're all very excited to hear from the University of Miami, no question.
Coach, and the fact that the attack mentality,
Yeah.
that and the defense looking like the University of Miami, how important is that?
It's huge, and that's kind of the whole speed issue. When we're attacking, if you can't run guys down, it doesn't do us much good. The first play in the bowl game, Joe Jackson comes from the backside. If he's not coming off as hard as he can, as fast as he can, he makes a play on the backside for, I think, a loss on the first play of the game. Chad Thomas, it's first, third down. Chad Thomas, the guy gets outside of him. Chad Thomas hustles down there, knocks the ball out. We recover the fumble. And Kendrick Norton, our nose tackle, recovers a fumble, who's also hustling downfield. So the ability, the speed, the attack, and then the ability to play so many guys so that they all can play relentless. You can't play great defense unless you attack, unless you are relentless. And you can't be relentless if you're out there 70 plays. It's kind of a burden that we all have to share, and that's why we play so many guys, so that they all can carry a small part of the burden to the best of their ability.
And what's different in this era is that it seems that a lot of the young players, or actually all the players, buy into the fact that they'd rather have 30 productive plays than 60 where you're taking a play on and taking a play off because of the endurance issue. Because now actually you're facing sometimes 90, 100 plays a game.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to play on that side of the ball.
No question. And it becomes a real team concept, and everybody has fun. Everybody can go out there and they're cheering for each other. When you have one guy play 80 plays or 70 plays and one guy plays 10 plays, the 10-play guy is not happy. I mean, he's just not.
Shouldn't be.
No, right. And, obviously if they produce better, they expect to see more results in terms of playing time on the field. And so that's what we're able to do. A guy like Joe Jackson, he wasn't a starter at the beginning of the year. He wasn't even, I think he was third string or something at the beginning of the year. And, but what he did on the football field earned his way up to that starting position at the bowl game. And obviously had, I think, the most productive bowl game of all the defensive linemen. So these kids know that they get a chance. And then the extra benefit of that is the next year when you lose a starter, you replace him with somebody who has meaningful playing experience. All right. And so nobody's brand new out there, or nobody's, thrown to the wolves for the first time. They all know what it's like.
Craig Kuligowski, one of the best defensive line coaches in the nation, and perhaps the best Twitter handle as well.
Yeah, let's meet at the QB.
Let's meet at the quarterback. Let's meet at the QB, right?
Right.
And certainly you guys met at the QB a lot last year.
Yeah, it's a good idea, isn't it?
It's a very good idea. All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, that's University of Miami defensive line coach Craig Kuligowski.